beautiful muses. Welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot and another Friday insight reading where we are going to get some yes, no, maybe answers for questions that you have. If you have more than one question, feel free to pick different piles for each of those. And just a few things before we jump into the piles is phrase your questions so that if you were to get a yes, that would feel like a positive outcome to you. This reading, we are going to have, there's kind of two parts to it. We're going to initially look at some underlying energy around your question. It might even kind of tap into some like subconscious things happening just to bring things to awareness, or it could just tap into some general energy around it. It sort of varies per pile what comes up. And then in the second part of the reading, we get a very clear, direct yes, no, maybe with some guidance around that, some insight into your answer. Okay, so we've got 4 piles for you today. Pile 1, we've got Aquamarine. Pile 2 is Malachite. Pile 3 is kind of a green or aqua citrine, or not citrine, calcite. I don't know why I always say citrine instead of calcite for some reason. Calcite. And then last pile, pile 4, is blue Orca agate. Okay, so if you need some time to sort out which pile is the aligned one for your message, you can pause here. Once you are ready, timestamps are in the descriptions, and I will see pile 1 first. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your yes, no reading and Friday Insight Tarot. So before we jump into looking at the energy around your question, just some, intuitive hits that came as I focused on your group, your stone, and the preparation, was I just got this sense of like it's time to freshen something up. So I don't know if this question is about something that would sort of shake things up, or if your question has some stagnancy in it, it's time to kind of think differently, shake things up a bit. Depending on what your question is, that message applies however that feels resonant to you. But it's sort of like time for a makeover around some energy here. Okay, let's look at your initial cards. Got nourishment, that's beautiful. Wonderment. Yeah, it feels like keeping an open mind, looking at things with like new eyes, childlike eyes, with a certain innocence, a certain fresh perspective, just trying to watch what feels new, what feels inspiring, just kind of tapping in to even like the most simple things, like going on a walk around your block and just noticing things you wouldn't typically notice. Like, like I take my dogs walking every morning, and sometimes I'm in a rush and I just, I'm kind of like their leader, and I'm, pushing the pace. And then sometimes I feel a little more at ease and relaxed, and I'll let them go on what I call a sniff walk, where I let them stop as much as they want, where they can sniff everything, and I just let that walk be a little bit more languid and easy and exploratory. And I feel like that's what you need to do. You need to, like, wherever you might normally walk, like whether it's, if you're in a big city and you're walking from your office to lunch or to your office, or if you're out more in the suburbs and you go on walks, or you spend time at a park, like whatever it is that where you would typically walk in your day, try to do that in a way where it's like you're going on a sniff walk, where it's just like don't try to make the objective getting from point A to point B. Make the objective noticing things between point A and point B. And just letting that kind of open your eyes in new ways. And I think that's going to feel very nourishing to do that. And something about that might help you to infuse some new energy into your life and feeling very nourished, by something new, by just something, easy and slow. And then we've got the compass for the third card. Something about doing that, slowing down, just paying attention to what's in front of you, taking time to smell the roses instead of, just being in your mind and getting from here to there. Just like, be present to what's around you, your environment, notice things. It's going to nourish you, and something about that will really bring some clarity to you about some direction with this question. It will give you, that what you need to know about this question to have clarity to move forward. But you need to, shake some things up, really be exploratory, really be present, really notice your surroundings and environments, and open your mind up to new ways of seeing and doing and thinking. Okay, let's get some confirmation tarot cards for each of these. The Hierophant. I can't decide if that's you or if that's someone you need to take some guidance from. I'm going to get some other cards out first. 5 of Pentacles. Oh yeah, okay, I see why you need to open your mind. There's something, you're in the wrong, I'm not going to say wrong mindset. There's a mindset, whether that's inherently in a subconscious place in you that affects more than just this question, or whether it's just around this question, there is a mindset going on where it's like you're limiting yourself, you're not opening to potential, you're really being, that's what this Hierophant is about. You're really connecting into some old programmings and some old stories that need to be shaken off. Whatever typical guidance you would follow around this question, you need to shirk it. There's different wisdom ready to come in. There's a different mentality ready to come in. You're needing to shed an old story, and to do so, you need to open your mind, pay attention to how life is abundant, how life has beauty. No matter what circumstance you're in, try to find the beauty and wonder in things. And it's really going to help you to shake off old programming. Even programming you may have previously leaned on as wise or expected. There may be some expectations you're needing to kind of shirk as well, shake off. Let's get your last confirmation card. 2 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, on top of the compass, it's like there's something stuck here. You don't know which way to go, because there's something about relying on old programming, old guidance, old attachments to certain expectations in your culture, family, society, whatever it is, that has made you feel limited. And because of that, limiting has created some kind of feeling of lack in some way. And you just need to open your mind shed normal advice you would give yourself here, or where you would normally go for advice. Like, do something totally different. Get advice from somewhere totally different. Really dig deep and ask what you want, and be present to your environment. Smell the roses, take that sniff walk, open your eyes to new ways, new things, new beings. And this will help you to find your direction, because you're stuck right now. There's like a decision. It's like you don't know what decision to make. The Two of Swords can be fence sitting even when it's upright. But I feel like in the upright, it's sort of like there is some logic and clarity and you're kind of weighing and measuring. But when it's in reverse, it's like you're fence sitting because you don't even know what to weigh and measure. It's just like you're totally struggling to find some logic or reason to grasp in terms of making a decision here. And this is just saying you need to open up your mind. You need to notice different things. You need to make different decisions. You need to shed old programming, freshen things up. You need a whole fresh new outlook here. Yeah, okay, so my sense is no matter if you get a yes or no, if you get the yes, it's sort of like you're on the right track, you're shaking some things up, you're thinking new. If you get no, it's telling you you need to do that. You need to look at this in a new way. So we're going to move into the second part of the reading to get those yes, no, maybe answers now. Okay. So how this is going to work is with a collective reading, love there to be different potential outcomes. So I'm going to draw 3 piles. So pile 1. I feel like this wants to come out and this wanted to come out. So there's the 3 piles. You're going to pick one of these piles, which will hold your yes, no, maybe answer. And then I will start with pile 1 and roll this 12-sided dice to get the yes, no, maybe, and then your card will give you some insight into that. So I'm going to give you about 10 seconds of silence to tune into these cards and ask which one holds your correct, aligned yes, no, maybe. Okay, if you need more time with that, you can pause here. Otherwise, I will start with those who chose the first pile. So let's roll your dice. And you guys have a very big yes. I definitely see the 1 through 12 as a spectrum, and 12 being the absolute best yes you could get. So my sense is you are already on the right path. You're really thinking in new ways, doing something new here. Like, continue doing that. And then the card you got was defend. So if there are things like family members, friends, people in your culture or society that are questioning you right now, or questioning something about this question, defend yourself. You are absolutely doing the right things for you. So defend your position, defend what you're doing right now, because it is the right path for you. Okay, pile 2, let's roll your dice. You guys got a 9, so that's a yes for you guys as well. Let's see what your card says. Connection with foxglove. Yeah, so getting your yes here, it may be bringing in connections, or through connecting out in the world, that's helping to bring your yes. But this yes in general is bringing a new sense of connection into your life. So that's a beautiful message to get as well. Okay, pile 3, let's get your answer. 1, so that's a pretty heavy no. 1 through 5 on this dice is no, 1 being the biggest no. So my sense for you guys is like you really need to look at something very differently here. You need to shake life up a bit. Shake this question up. Shake your mentality up. And you got ritual, yeah. I think you're due for different rituals. It's time to shake up your rituals, and something about shaking up. To me, like I often connect ritual with like the things we do every day. What do we ritualize in our life? Like what is habitual, ritual, what in your day-to-day do you need to shake up? And something about that is going to put you on a better path, and the right path, and towards the right question. But there's something still, there's something old, there's something stagnant about the rituals in your life, your day-to-day, that is affecting this question for you guys. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you. I hope this was a helpful reading. If so, I always appreciate likes and shares and subscribes. I'm always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. And in general, just thank you for being here. That in itself is supportive, and a lot of gratitude for being here. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your Friday Insight with yes, no, maybe answers to your questions. You guys chose the beautiful Malachite. So tuning into your pile before we get into cards, kind of like intuitive things that came in preparation, was I had like the biggest sneeze in the world right as I was kind of diving into your pile. And so often that will bring some like clearing for me, a new sense of like, I don't know, it can be like a very relieving feeling after a sneeze, but this one made me feel it's interesting because I don't feel sick. I don't feel like I'm getting sick, but that sneeze made me feel that way, like I had a cold. And so I don't know in general if some people coming here are getting over colds or flus. That may just be what that is. But beyond that, I was, getting through the cards. They were fumbling all over the place. Things felt kind of hazy. I did feel just that sense of like either a little bit run down or it had that feeling. Whether you're sick or not, there's like this rundown feeling that I felt here. So I don't know if that 100% will relate to your question or more like your current energy. Take that as you will, however that resonates. Maybe you connect into like, yeah, this question does feel a little tired, or I just feel tired, whichever, maybe both, whatever connects to you. There's something here about that. But let's get into your cards to get some underlying energy, see what's going on with the energy around this question. Flow. Well, that's beautiful to see. That's encouraging. So for a lot of you, it could just be your current energy and not necessarily your question. Because the cards are very directly about your question. So flow, but let's see what else comes up to understand what flow is. Open doors. Maybe you're moving out of, flowing can sometimes be this movement, or, like connecting to something about you're moving somewhere. So maybe you're moving from something that was stagnant or old towards something that feels new and bright and fresh. That's kind of, anyway. I don't always love revealing certain things that came through in other piles, but I would say if that resonates to you, you may also want to watch pile 1. Okay, and then teamwork. In this deck, teamwork, instead of it being about like collaboration with others or working well with others, this has a lot more to do with aligning your mind, body, and spirit. And so that really helps to clear a path forward. So there is some kind of movement going on here. It's like you are aligned within yourself. It's like you, around this question, it's like you know what you want. There's movement, there's traction around this, and a door is opening. So very, very positive energy right off the bat. I feel like the only reason someone would get a no to their question is that they're supposed to be moving forward. So I feel like if you get a no, it might be because your question is too stagnant. It's not moving, right? But we'll get to that part later, just sort of insight that came. Okay, let's get some confirmation cards for each of these. Knight of Cups. Yeah, movement, movement, movement. Follow your heart, follow your bliss. Follow your joy. More than anything, what's bringing you joy? That's the thing that's going to give you movement around this question. And that's the thing that's going to open doors. And that's the thing that's going to align you. Follow your joy. Six of Cups. Yeah, I mean, for some of you, you may be holding on to the past in something. I feel like the Six of Cups would be for if anyone were to get a no, that would be the card I would look at as like, there's something you're, stuck in from the past that is preventing, that's keeping you in stagnant energy. It's keeping you from flowing towards something new and fresh. Where can you, but I think in general for everyone, it's like, where can you kind of let go of the past a little bit? You can hold those memories, you can keep those beautiful memories, but maybe there's somewhere else you're supposed to be moving. And then I feel like the bottom card. Yeah. You can't make this up. Yep. There's something new you're supposed to be going toward. So if you get a no to this question, it just means that like you're stuck in the past with something. It's time to move towards the new. If you get a yes, it means you're on the right track. So we're going to move into that part of the reading now, getting your yes, no, maybes. Okay, so I, with a collective reading, love the idea of having multiple potential outcomes. It's a pile one. So I'm going to pick 3 different piles, and you will choose the pile that's resonating with you that you feel has your aligned yes, no, maybe. And then I will go through each of the piles one by one. I'm going to roll the 12-sided dice, 1 through 5 being no, 6 and 7 maybe, 8 through 12 yes, and then I'll flip over your pile's card for some insight into the answer you got. So I'm going to give you about 10 seconds of quiet time to tune into these piles and feel into which one you are being called to with your aligned answer. Okay, if you need more time to choose your pile, feel free to pause here. When you're ready, I'll start with pile 1. So let's roll your dice. 4 is a no. So my sense is there's something like stuck about your question, and it's time to look toward the future. It's time to look towards something new, something different. Whatever you've asked about may need to be sort of like left in the past. Okay, and then you got growth. Yeah, it's time for you to grow. Whatever you've asked about, if you keep sort of circling around this thing, it's like preventing you from growing. It's time to kind of move on. But with that, going back to that 6 of Cups card from earlier, it doesn't mean you can't still have beautiful memories, that there can't still be certain attachments, but it's just like time to generally move on. from something here. Okay, pile 2, let's roll your dice. You got a 1, and I do see the 1 through 12 as a spectrum. So 1 is a really hardcore no. So something for sure around your question is just, stagnant. It's just not moving. It doesn't connect to that flow. But just to remind both pile 1 and pile 2 that there is that energy around you. There's something else trying to get your attention. There is something flowing that you need to wake up to that will lead you somewhere different and somewhere beautiful. Okay, let's see what your card says. Soothe. So for you guys, whatever you might need to be leaving behind about this, there may be it might be more hard for you than for pile 1. You may need a little bit of time for grieving, and then tapping into that exhaustion energy I felt from preparing your pile. You just may need, in general, some downtime to kind of decompress, to let something move out of you, right? And be gentle with yourself in that process. Okay, let's move to pile 3. So we'll roll your dice. 10. So you guys got a yes here. So you are the pile that sort of, your question is on the right track. You are moving towards something that is fresh, new, flowing, keep going kind of thing. And nourish yourself. Yeah, you don't need to rush into this. Even though the Fool showed up, which is kind of a leap of faith, you can still kind of take one step at a time. You can still sort of be gentle with yourself in the process. I do, with that energy, I felt I still feel almost a little bit of a cold in me, which is, not how I was feeling before this reading at all. I feel across the board, you all need to nourish yourself. You all need to take care of your energy. But pile 3, you are on the right track. Just don't force things here. If you need to tend to some energy here, need some time to kind of decompress from something, do that. There's no rush. Move forward in a way that feels gentle. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. If so, ways you can support me and my channel are very simple things like the or subscribing or sharing this with someone. I'm also always very grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. It's sort of fun to feel that human connection. But despite all of that, you are supporting me just by being here. I love reading, so thank you for being here. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your Friday Insight, where we are going to get some answers for your yes, no, maybe questions. You guys picked the green or aqua calcite. And before we jump into the first part of your reading, which is looking at sort of the underlying energy around your question, I always love to tap into just intuitive hits that came as I was preparing your pile. And I got this sense of they're needing to be sort of a pause to take care of something specifically about yourself, your energy, your health, your mindset, whatever it is for you. I got the sense that you're sort of already in that, maybe taking that moment to feel ready within yourself for something about this question. Sort of having that foresight, not to just jump, but to feel ready to jump into something here. And potentially something really beautiful. I do get that sense there's something lovely going on around your question. But let's look into your cards to see a little bit more about what's going on. Harvest Yeah, I mean, if literally thinking about like a harvest, if you were someone that, grew a garden or worked in agriculture, you would certainly want to feel prepared to go in and gather the harvest, right? You want your energy to be right. You want to feel nourished. You want to feel like you have the right tools, like you have the right goals, kind of knowing where that threshold is of something that needs to be tossed versus kept, kind of, yeah, just sort of getting yourself together to reap the harvest here, but also like a beautiful sign. Like I felt like something beautiful around this question, like you're about to reap something. Yeah. Just go. Okay. I like that. It's sort of saying like, take that pause, but don't linger there. Get yourself prepared, but then don't grasp onto, there can be times when we spiral and constantly think we're not ready, like never quite ready enough to do this, or not good enough or not this enough. And it's like, no, take your pause to get your energy right or whatever you need, but then do it. Go, jump. Don't linger in this feeling of like, I'm not prepared enough. Take that moment to do the one or two things that you absolutely need to do to be prepared, but then just go. Just jump in, dive in, do it. And then authenticity. To me, this is like get out of your head. This is like follow your unique vibration, follow your instincts, follow your intuition. Get out of your mind of like what's expected, how other people do things, how other people will think about this or judge me or whatever it is that would relate to your question. It's like, get out of that energy and just move into yourself and move through instinct here. What would you naturally do? That is like the way to jump into whatever this is. Okay, let's get some confirmation cards for each of these. Ooh, feeling this one. 10 of Pentacles. That's beautiful. And that is like, talk about a harvest card. I do think there's really beautiful energy around this question and something that really has potential to, whether this is something you've already done and now it's time to reap the rewards, or something that you're thinking about doing. If it's more aligned with that, like, should I do this? Or, like, should I invest in that? This would be an indication that like it holds really beautiful potential. If it's a question about something that's already in motion, it's sort of like, yeah, your harvest is coming in. Be prepared. Okay. 4 of Wands. Something to celebrate. Yeah, I felt that from the get-go. There's something really beautiful happening here. The figure on this particular 4 of Wands is pregnant, so I don't know if you're about to start a project. Some of you could literally be pregnant, or wanting to get pregnant, or wanting to start something new. And this is like really saying that yeah, just do it. It would be something that would bring joy and celebratory vibes into your life, beauty into your life. Okay, last. And it's so funny how these tarot cards, like I couldn't think of a better card to align with authenticity than 7 of Swords. This is like, at least one interpretation of 7 of Swords. There's different ways to read, different versions of each card. I shouldn't say different. There's multiple interpretations for each tarot card, but the way, because of authenticity here, The way I would read the Seven of Swords is like it's time to stop noticing how other people are doing things, what other people are doing, how you might fit in. Whatever this is about, don't fit in. Do it your way. It's time to go your own way with something. And I think that will really boost your energy. I think it will really open up, like unlock your creativity and your individuation and your star power. So just be true to who you are, what your true vibe is, what you want here, and really shut down looking at how or what other people are doing here. So my sense, I always sort of like to give these precursors before we go into the actual yes, no, maybe part, is that if anyone gets a no in this, it would be this stuff. It would be because there's something about your question that's like too entangled in what's going on external to you. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into that actual part, the yes, no, maybe part of the reading. And so for this part, I love the idea with collective readings that there could be, multiple potential outcomes. So I'm actually going to pick 3 piles that you will choose one of the piles. So 3 different yes, no, maybes are coming in this, but it's going to be very quick. Well, it's not wanting to come out, so let's take it. And then, so I'm going to give you some quiet time to tune into the 3 piles, feel into which one has your correct aligned yes, no, maybe. And then I will start with pile 1. We will roll a 12-sided dice to get your answer, 1 through 5 being no, 6 and 7 maybe, 8 through 12 yes. So I am going to give you about 10 seconds now to tune into and choose your pile. Okay, if you need more time, feel free to pause here. When you're ready, we'll start with pile 1. So let's roll your dice. And you have an 8, which is a yes, which is beautiful. It means that, and I do see this as a spectrum, the 1 through 12, and 8 is like right the very first yes. So it's kind of like this, you're on the right track, like lean in more though. Lean in more to doing this your own way, going your own way, believing in yourself, tuning into what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then your card says enhance with indigo. I feel like this is the leaning in. How can you further enhance, kind of like tuning into your own instinct here? How can you lean in further? So that's really picking up on what I was already feeling. Like, how can you lean in further to being in your own instinct, in your own vibe, in your own particular way of wanting to do something here? Okay, pile 2, let's roll your dice. And you guys have a 6, which is a maybe. There's still some unseen things or timing or something's still a little nebulous as to which way this will go. And I think just listening to that first part of the reading again might help. Like, how can you do 1 or 2 things to prepare yourself? How can you believe in yourself? How can you jump and say yes? How can you really adhere to your own instinct, your own way, doing it your particular version of whatever? So just some things to tune into there. Okay, and then your card is protection, which is lovely. This means like, you know, there is protection around you. And so even if this starts to go awry and you end up getting a no, is because there's something better. There's something more, you know, like looking into the other energies in the car in the first part of the reading, there's something more fruitful for you. There's something more aligned to your instinct and your particular vibration. So this will just depend on how aligned your question is to what's right for you. Okay, pile 3, let's roll your dice. You guys have a 3, so that is a no. Yeah, really look into, I feel like a no, like I said in the first part of the reading, would indicate there's something about this question that's like too entangled in external factors, external world, external opinions, external culture, external expectations, whatever it is. There's something you need to dig deeper into you to do something more you. There's something more you waiting for you. This one is a little off vibration for you. Magic, which is a beautiful sort of encouragement from the cards saying that you need to trust in yourself more. You have magic within you. What do you actually want? What if you were to tune the world out, pretend you're on a completely different planet with cultures you don't know, with people you've never met, where you don't know anything about anything, which frees you up to just completely tune into what you want and what you need, and how you can unleash your magic, because there's no sort of attachment to doing something in a certain way or being a certain way. If you can really get in touch with your authentic self, like some magic will really be released in your life. So beautiful encouragement from the cards. All right, if this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes and shares and subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments, but thank you in general just for being here. That in itself is supportive, and you know, I just love doing this, so thank you for allowing me to read for you, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your Friday Insight with yes, no, maybe answers to your questions. You guys picked this blue Orca Agate. So tuning into some intuitive hits before we get into your cards. I definitely, it was sort of like a funny, interesting thing came into my head. It was sort of like a visual came into my head. And I have no idea how this will relate to any of you or to your question. But I got this like visual of you being a figure like Sigmund Freud or Carl Jung, like someone who's has a certain excellence and confidence in what they're doing. And you were in with like a patient in some sort of like, you know, therapy session, you as the therapist. And I don't think it means you needing to act as like a counselor or therapist in any way. To me, it felt more of that like confidence and mastery in something and like doing your thing. Just this kind of like established energy. So even before we get into this first part of the reading, which is looking at the energy around your question, I get the sense that like, if you were to get a no, it's because you're like not believing enough in yourself. You're not leaning into the confidence that you deserve like you deserve to have, like you have earned the right to have a lot of confidence in something here. So if you were to get a no, it's like because you're not tuned into that for some reason. But we'll get to that in the second part of the reading. That's just something that came, so I thought I would share that. Let's look at the underlying energy going on here. Plenty. Yeah, it's like whatever this question is about, it's like you have more than enough. There's just like such established energy here. There's nothing to worry about here. I actually question why some of you are in this reading. And right when I was saying that, the timer on this particular reading was at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And I know 22 is like a master builder. I don't know the triple two, but I'll just lean into that master builder energy. It's like, yeah, there's excellence here. Yeah, maybe you just need like a little boost, gift. You're gifted. You have excellence. There's plenty to go around. Yeah, again, I just feel like if anyone gets a no in this reading, it's because you're not tuned in. It's like maybe you just need it told to you how much excellence you have. Like you're not tuned into it or something. And then transformation. Well, maybe that could be why some of you are here. Yeah, sometimes when you get to a certain level in something, a tipping point happens and things like the world around you starts to change. The kinds of opportunities available to you are very different. It's like the world starts to look different because it's like you've leveled up, and so there's different things happening which can tip you off balance a little bit. Like, am I good enough for these opportunities? Am I good enough for these honors or this respect? Or like all of a sudden I'm in this world where like everyone sees me on top of the world, but am I on top of the world? Like, I don't know, And I think what's going on here is like it's a transformation from where you have been. So it's going to take a minute to like get used to this. That's the advice I feel, is like if you get a no here, it's like maybe some time to get used to things is the issue, or you're not believing in yourself enough. But man, you guys, whatever this question is and whoever you are, it's like you're on it. It's like believe in yourself. Really own it. That's what I want to say, like own it. Okay. Death. Yeah, I think a different, like an old version of you, an old version of life is really going by the wayside now. And that, that can be really destabilizing. Tapping back into that image and kind of scenario, I felt intuitively, you may have been doing a lot of sort of psychological digging and have sort of transcended some things, kind of really witnessed certain things and really transcended some old behaviors and patterns that kept you back from feeling a sense of plenty in life. And now you're feeling that sense of plenty, and maybe it's sort of like, but is that a blip? Is that just something I can't totally trust? Like, is that just going to disappear? And this is like, no, this is a whole transformation. Like, you've changed. Okay. The Magician. Yeah. Believe in your ability to manifest. Like, very different world is unfolding in front of you around whatever you're asking about. And because this is underlying energy, it could just in general be something going on in your life that affects everything you would ask about. And Three of Wands, your ship is coming in. Some patience though. It's like maybe some of you are asking like, is this thing on the horizon too good to be true? Because so often that can be the case. Like, there's this thing that I sense on the horizon, or I've been told is on the horizon, or that should be on the horizon, but can I believe it? Is it a mirage? Is it a blip? Is it, can I hold on? Yeah, it feels like that. Can I hold on to this, or is this a mirage? Is this an illusion? And this is saying, no, this is real. Yeah, but a little bit of patience, it feels like. You're still doing a little bit of transforming here. But whatever, despite whatever you asked about, I am feeling the need to say good job on whatever you've been doing in your life. Whatever like deep psychological work you've been doing. So maybe that, that Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud actually had like a double meaning. Like, I do think there's been some psychological work here. I think you were both the patient and the psychoanalyst in that vision. You were both of them. Yeah, so I don't know. I really feel like anyone that gets a no, it's like not believing in yourself, not believing in what's in front of you. It's skepticism. I don't know. But let's get into that. So to get your yes, no, maybes, I'm going to draw 3 different piles because I love there to be multiple potential outcomes with a collective. So you'll pick one of the 3 piles, which will hold your yes, no, maybe. And for each one, I will roll a 12-sided dice, 1 through 5 being no, 6 and 7 being yes, and 6 and 7 being maybe, and 8 through 12 being yes. Oops. And 3. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds of silence to tune into these 3 piles and feel which one is drawing you in, which would mean it has your aligned answer. Okay, if you need more time, you can pause here. Otherwise, we will jump into number 1. So let's roll your dice. That's 5. So there is a no here. It's like 1 through 12 to me is a spectrum. So 5 is the last no before you go into maybe. So to me, this is saying like you're on the verge of getting something. But just what I would tune into more like very specifically about the first half of the reading is patience. Like some kind of ship is coming in for you, and you need to believe in yourself and believe in the transformations going on to see that, to see the right ship. Like maybe you're looking at the wrong thing because it's like you're still looking at old versions of you and old versions of choices, but there's something much bigger, much brighter coming in. Build, cattail. I feel like this is a directive from the card saying like don't rely on old forms. What is something new you can build? Go towards that. Yeah. Okay, pile 2. Let's roll your dice. You guys also got a 5, so same thing. It's like you're right on the verge. A little bit of patience. There's something still transforming in you. And once that transformation has kind of really solidified, you're gonna see yourself in a very different light, is what I feel like with this pile. You're gonna start seeing yourself in a very different light soon, which would affect what you've asked. Yeah, exactly. Clarity is on its way. Be patient. Whatever you've asked is kind of not quite coming from a really clear place about this new transformation you're stepping into. Okay, pile 3, let's roll your dice. and 11. So you guys have a really good yes here. Yeah. So abundance, hollyhock, believe in it. All of the beauty coming in, all of the things opening up to you, the new world unfolding, the opportunity that might be on the horizon. Lean into it, embrace it, accept it, step into your confidence, step into your mastery. You deserve what's coming in here around your question. Okay, I hope that resonated. If so, I always appreciate support in the form of likes and shares and subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments, but in general, just thank you for being here. That in itself is supportive, and I love doing this. So I wish you a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are.